Good evening, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Great. So, today we will talk about, I think yesterday we spoke about barter system. We spoke about double coincidence of want. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಲೀಗಲ್ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಡೆಪ್ಟರ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟುಡೇ ನಾವು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ and informal sector. We'll see if there are other students joining so that we can basically start the class. Great. So I hope we will wait for another 2 minutes before we start the class. If you have any doubt, you can definitely ask so that. Okay, I welcome you all to TIC exams second class today. Now ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು economic subject which will be helpful for IAS, KAS, FDA, SDA, PSI. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು 5-6 ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟುಡೇ ಹೊಸ ಇವತ್ತಿದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely ask or else we will start the class. We'll just wait for another few minutes for the students to join in case if they wish to join. That's very important. Zaid, if you have doubt, you can ask. Would be, till students join. I'll be happy to answer now. Ghazala, if you have any doubts from today's newspaper, you can ask so that the other students, they'll be, I don't know, if they wish to join. Anyone has any doubt, they can directly ask. It's very, very important. If you have any doubts, you ask before we start the class so that, by the time the students join, we should be able to basically take few questions. Have you all read today's newspaper? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. We'll wait maximum for another 2 minutes and then we'll quickly start. Not more than 2 minutes. That's all. We'll wait till 9:40 because we know there are students who are busy. So that's why we have to take care of them. And that's the reason that, we will be basically 2 minutes. Zaid, Zeba, Ghazala, if you have any doubts, you please ask. I would be happy to answer. There is another guy called H. I don't know what his name is, who has joined just now. If you have any doubts, do ask. Okay, we have another 2 minutes to take the doubts. Why UK president is not coming to India? Well, Zaid, it is about priorities. You understand they are having a new strain of coronavirus and their country is in trouble. The entire country is in lockdown. And logically speaking, a head of the state should not leave the country during the time of the crisis. They are learned people. They do understand their voters very well. They know that this can hit them back because this would be a very bad, a kind of, you say, system if they leave the country at this time and go to another country basically to attend. So that's more about how a head of the state should react during the time of the crisis. Nothing much any diplomatic trouble. It's as simple as that. That there is a new strain of coronavirus, and that's why I want to take care of the country. We have someone raising hands. You can directly put your questions in comment section. If you raise hands, then I'll allow you to talk also. So that's how it is. Anytime, you just let us know if you have any doubts before we start the class. Today we will do a current affairs topic also, so that we try to understand the nitty-gritties of the current affairs that is coming in the newspaper. Great. So if you have any doubts, you can put it in chat box. See, if you look at the class, yesterday we spoke about, yeah, there is few questions now. Yes, let me take that questions. Sir, from which are you teaching us economy, either by reminiscing or current affairs? Well, I am basically, you see, taking both reminiscing, right? I would take this question both basically from reminiscing as well as current affairs. I'll take one of the topic of the current affairs as well as I'll try to complete your entire economy much better than reminiscing. Reminiscing is a very hectic, long book. It would take a lot of time. I'll try to finish it in much lesser time than reminiscing. That I can assure you. So, yesterday we discussed about barter system, right? Okay. Sorry. Yesterday we discussed about barter system. Then we discuss about double coincidence of wants. Then we discuss about RBI. We discuss about currency. Okay. And we also discuss about, say, debtors and creditors, right? That's what we did yesterday. Now today we will discuss about a new concept, right, which is called informal sector. What is it called? Informal sector. What do you mean by informal sector loans? Well, For us to understand, look at this way. Uh, Imagine this way. Imagine you are living in a place like Bidar. Okay. You are living in a place like Bidar and you want to borrow money. So ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಧನಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್, ಝುಂझुनवाला ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್, ಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು, ಬಟ್ ಇವರು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಲೋನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಈ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್, ಈ ಅನ್ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಲೋನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ a very good example is that when you buy from this small finance guys who basically give you money, they are very famous in the local market. The interest rates are very high, sir. Heavy interest rate. Andre, for an example, they charge 1% per day. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ there will be a place where there are people who finance you the money. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಬಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ಪೇಪರ್ ವರ್ಕು ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಪೇಪರ್ ವರ್ಗಂತೂ ಖಂಡಿತ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅವರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್, interest rates are very, very high. Then imagine if you are paying if you are borrowed, let's say 1,000 rupees, okay, and you are paying 1% per day. Now 1,000 rupees, 10% is 100 rupees, right? Yeah, 10% is 100 rupees and then 1% is 10 rupees. That means 10 multiplied by 30, that is 300 rupees per month, multiplied by 1 year, you will be paying 3,600 rupees per year only as an interest. So a large part of the money goes only in paying the interest. So usually what happens are poor farmers, since they don't have much organized lending, they buy from money lender. They are not able to pay back the money. Eventually they commit suicide. There are n number of cases we have studied how informal sector loans are really, really bad. They give you money, they charge interest, they give you money, they charge interest, they give you money, they charge interest, and it goes on like that. Then the second topic for today is liquidity. What is it? Liquidity. Now what do you mean by liquidity? Liquidity in the sense how fast anything can be converted into cash. Cash is the most liquid asset. Most liquid asset is your cash, because you can give cash and get the value without any tension, right? Then after gold, you may have, say, silver, you may have shares, you may have property. Property also is a liquidity, but to sell a property, you cannot do it immediately, right? So property is basically the least liquid asset. Gold, most liquid asset. ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವುದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಕಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. That's what is called the most liquid asset. ಅರ್ಧ ರಾತ್ರಿ, midnight also, you take the gold, there will be people who will be giving you money. Liquidity is very important, because in an economy, liquidity decide whether there is an inflation, and how to control inflation. Government try to reduce the liquidity in the market. We'll do it in the future as is any progress. We'll try to do it in the future about liquidity. Okay, so this ends your first chapter on key terminology. So let me take you with the new initiative that I'm starting today, which is about the economy paper of today. Unorganized sector, yes. Unorganized sector not exactly can be called as an informal sector. It's an informal sector, but you're talking about informal sector loan. Zaid says Muthoot Finance. No, Zaid, Muthoot Finance is not an informal loan. Muthoot Finance comes as a formal loan. Muthoot Finance is called non-banking financial company. We call Muthoot Finance, what do we call it? Non banking, financial company. They are very much organized. They do pay taxes to the government. Cash can be converted to asset. Yeah, that can also be said. But then if the cash gets converted to asset, it will reduce its liquidity. It will reduce its liquidity. Clear, Ghazala? If the cash get converted to asset, it will reduce its liquidity. Please tell us full details about inflation and deflation. Okay. If you want it today, only I'll tell you. Let's first start with inflation. What do you mean by inflation? The general increase in the price of goods and services over a period of time. What do you mean by that? Today, there was a packet of Parle-G which was 10 rupees. Tomorrow, it became 12 rupees. Then we call this increase as inflation. Okay, it was 10 rupees, it became 12, it became 15, it became 17, it can become 20, or it can become 200. Then this increase is nothing but what we call is that inflation. The general increase in the price of goods and services over a period of time. It could be including services. It could be the increase in the cost of software or teaching, even anything. We call mangai anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಮನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಂಗಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓ ಹೆವಿ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಸರ್, ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ವಿ ಟೆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೈಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್. Clear, Zaid? What do you mean by inflation? The general increase in the price of goods and services over a period of time, we call it inflation. Great. What is deflation? Opposite of inflation. That means something was 12 rupees. Sorry. Something was 12 rupees. It became 10. It became 8. It became 4. It became 2. This is nothing but deflation. This is nothing but deflation, which is the general decrease in the price of goods and services. Now, is inflation good or bad? Can someone tell me, is inflation good or bad? Is inflation good or bad? Bad? Oh, see, inflation is not good or bad. It depends upon what percentage of inflation. See, if it's increased, for an example, in India, any increase from 4 plus or minus 2, that is 2% to 4% increase is called as good. It's called as good. More than that is regarded as bad. Right? Before we had 7, 8, 9 also. Right now we try to maintain between 2 to 6%. Why? Because this is regarded as good inflation. It is good for the economy. So inflation is good only, inflation is bad only if the inflation is very, very high. If it's very high, then it's bad. Or else it's basically good. How does inflation affect the economy? Well, understand like this. Inflation reduces the value of money. Money become less value. Don't worry, we will do this later when we go to inflation topic. Okay. Someone has also asked, will the demand will increase the inflation? Yes. If there is a high demand, then there will be a high inflation. Demand will definitely lead to inflation. Yes, the demand will lead to inflation. Sir, which book we have to refer for FDA SDA exam? You can contact us. We have prepared the book. We will be able to basically give you that book. Now, any more doubts with respect to inflation? I'll do inflation detail later. Don't worry. We'll do it aram se. As of now, let's slowly try to target step by step, step by step, step by step, step by step. ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಈ ಯು ಪಿ ಎಸ್ ಸಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಹಾಡು ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಹಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ನಾವು ಹಾಡೇ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಗಾನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಟುಡೇ? ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೋರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್. India's economy recovery bucks global trend. Okay, now let's try to understand this topic. What we need to understand is that we know that after lockdown, there is the problem of economic growth. It's not happening. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Finance Ministry is saying that India is experiencing a V-shaped curve. What do you mean by V-shaped curve? You grow, okay, you decrease, and then you increase your growth. The economy will decrease and then will increase. The economy will decrease, then will increase. This is nothing but V-shaped growth. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾಳೆ ಯು ಪಿ ಎಸ್ ಸಿಲಿ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅವರು, ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಸ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್ and it has become, basically it will pick up. So now the finance minister says that Indian economy is basically increasing much better than the global economy. Right? Yesterday also we saw a paper, purchase managing index. This is an index release where it showed that the manufacturing sector was growing. Okay, that means India is on recovery path. What is the key word? Recovery path. Please write it down. Recovery path. Key number 1, V-shaped curve. Keyword number 2, recovery path. Keywords are very, very important for exams. Okay, so that's very, very important. So the effect of the management of COVID-19 spread despite the festive season and including the winter, and including there was a problem of what you say about right. So there was still a problem going on with respect to your inflation. Just a moment, there are some. Great. So recovery path. Now the finance ministry also says that the agriculture sector, which is basically growing at 3.4%. How do we calculate that? Very simple. 100 rupees last year, 103 rupees this year is nothing but 3% growth. Clear? Everyone? Clear? Zaid, Zeba, Shana, Minam, MD, Majid, as well as Ghazala. Are we clear? How do we calculate growth? How do we calculate growth? 100 rupees this year, next year 103, and it becomes 3% growth. Any doubt? ಕೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ಇದು ಇವತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ನಾವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ ಈ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿ, ಆರಾಮಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಏನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. End of the day, it is just an exam. Allah. Okay, so that's why that they're saying that the agriculture is also showing a growth, and they have spoken about 2 seasons. I will give you that homework. Please try to find out what do you mean by Rabi, what do you mean by Kharif, and what do you mean by Zaid. Zaid is not you Zaid. There is another season called Zaid. Okay, try to find out these 3 seasons, their month, and what are the crops grown. Very, very important. What are the season timings? Okay. What are the months? Please do it as an homework. Okay. So they also speak about this one. Please repeat. Okay, I'll repeat. Very simple. Everyone, please look at the screen. There's nothing, much to worry about. Point number one, the finance minister saying that India is experiencing a V-shaped growth. V-shaped growth andre ಏನು? Economy decline ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Economy decline ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. V-shaped growth. Second thing, they are saying that agricultural sector growth is at 3.4%. What do you mean by that? Last year, for an example, agriculture sector made 100 rupees. This year, if they are making 103 rupees, then it's nothing but 3% growth. Artha point number 2. Point number 3, they are speaking about rabi sowing season, kharif crops, that you do it as a homework. She is also saying that there is employment generation happen through Manrega. What is Manrega? Manrega stands for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. 100 days of work government will give. Manrega, she is telling, will increase the rural incomes. Andre ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಹತ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮನ್ರೇಗಾ. ಸೊ ಮನ್ರೇಗಾ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ರೂರಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. If rural income increases, then what will happen? Rural employment will also be happening. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. So government is saying these many points. Simple. Any doubt? I told you, right? Economy is very simple. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಪಾಶ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಡೀ ಎಕನಾಮಿಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಕನಾಮಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ. ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಎವ್ರಿವನ್. Now the next topic is about global output set to expand in financial year 2022. Global output. See, if India grows from 100 to 103 rupees, then it is a 3% growth. Same way, we also calculate for global. And now we are projecting that global output will at least grow at 4%, where India might grow at 5.4%. This is a projection as a part of World Bank Global Economic Prospect. What is World Bank? World Bank is an international bank. It is actually called World Bank Group. There are 4 more. We will not go in detail. We will go into later. World Bank Group. They provide loans to countries for development. They provide loans to countries for development. Artha aita? Gurugade? Artha aita? Aita? Valle aita bidi. Nimge artha aita andre saaku. Asif Khan is raising hand. Asif, you can always ask for any details. Okay. I'll take the questions in a while. Just wait for a moment. World Bank is also saying that the projection is still at 5%. Sorry. It's still at 5%. That was pre-pandemic level. India might grow at 5.4, which is good for India. Right? And India's expected contraction in the current fiscal is due to the sharp decline is household spending and private investment. Let's go one by one. Current fiscal. That means this Jan to say less Jan. We are talking about time period. Then this is saying household spending. Now, you all know that since pandemic, ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಭಯ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ pandemic ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ economic close down ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. So we are reducing, right? We have not gone for trips. ನಾವು ಗೋವಾ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಮುನ್ನಾರ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇರಳ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ನಾವು ಕೇರಳ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಶೂಸ್ ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಇನ್ನ ಪಿಕಪ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್? ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್ ಇನ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೈಯಿಂಗ್ 2 ಲೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಘೀ, ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಘೀ. 1 ಡಜನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ತರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಹಾಫ್ ಅ ಡಜನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅವರು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್? ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್ ಇನ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ. ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ವೆನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಗೆಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಡ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೆಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಇಟ್, there is no sale. When there is no sale, there are no taxes. There are no taxes, government will not have money. Second thing, there is also decline in private investment. Oh, private investment. ಅದೇನು ಸರ್? ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೊಸ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೊಸ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರನೂ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈವನ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಇವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾವುದು ಹೊಸ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಹೊಸ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದು ಶಾಪ್ ಮಲಬಾರ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಅವರು ಹೊಸ ಶಾಪ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ. ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? That's why there is a severe income loss. ಜನ ಎತ್ತ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಖಂಡಿತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಬಿಡಿ, ದುಡ್ಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. That is why India is basically, the World Bank is saying these are the problems. But they are also saying that there is a recovery happening in manufacturing sector and it might pick up very, very soon. And they are also saying that it was about to get recover. ಇದು ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇನ್ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. That's why. That's what they are also saying. Then what else they are saying? They are also saying that one of the most important thing is we should do is we need to basically reduce inequality. Oh, what do you mean by inequality? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಸರ್, ಅಂಬಾನಿ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಂಗರ್. ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಸ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ. ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. malnutrition because of inequality. Income is not getting distributed. Now lockdown ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಬಾನಿ ಅವರು ಈ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ he brought 1,20,000 crore as investment. Right? So World Bank is saying that we need to work on reducing inequality. The economic advantage should be distributed among people. Everyone should get a job, everyone should get a house, everyone should get a food, everyone should have a relaxed life, everyone's standard of living should be increasing, it should be increased. That's what is being said by World Bank. Okay, there is one more word they are saying, private sector debt will increase. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಪ್ತ್. What is debt? Come on, quickly. People who are attended class yesterday. What do you mean by debt? Loan, yes. That means private sector loans are also increasing. Why? They are not being able to make profit because of the lockdown. Okay, this is with respect to your this topic. Can we quickly repeat it? Right? Keywords. Keyword number one, that there is a income loss. Keyword number two, households spending have reduced. Keyword number three, private investments are reduced. Keyword number four, right? Keyword number four, that we need to reduce inequality. Keyword number five, private debts are also increasing, right? And keyword number six, inequality should be reduced and everyone should get money. Clear? That is with respect to your this topic. Now, topic number three. Rise in credit may not always result in higher investment. Okay. Firms can use credit to finance their correct liability. This is a paper released by RBI. What is they saying? Credit andre ಏನು ಸರ್? ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, credit andre ಏನು? Credit andre ಏನು? What do you mean by credit? That means when banks are giving you loan, it's called credit. RBI is saying when companies borrow this credit, they may not expand the business. Sometimes they may use this money to basically pay back their loans. That's why even when the banks are giving more money to the companies, the economy is not increasing because instead of using that money for expansion, companies are also clearing their old liabilities. That's what is being talked about in this particular topic. It's a paper. It also talk about monetary policy transmission. What do you mean by monetary policy transmission? RBI, when they reduce repo rate, the banks are not reducing the interest rate. When RBI reduces the repo rate, the bank should reduce the interest rate, right? They are not reducing. What is repo rate? It is the rate at which the bank borrow from RBI. I repeat, repo rate is, it's the rate at which the bank borrow from RBI. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅವರು RBI ಅವರು ರೆಪೋ ರೇಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜನ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಾರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಬೂಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಸ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಸ ಜಾಬ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಜನ ಹತ್ರ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is being talked about this particular paper. Any doubt? Insurers too often, this topic is not important, don't read this. Not important, don't read this. Okay, these are the very not important topic. Deal is China company, not important. It's about how New York is buying Chinese company, that's all, right? Rising steel prices to help realty margins. Simple. Steel prices are increasing. That's why flats, apartments, sellers, they might reduce their margin because of the increase in steel prices. Don't study this at all. Any doubts? Any doubts? If you have any doubts, please ask. Let me see the chat box. What is IMF? We will do it later, Sohail. IMF stands for International Monetary Fund. We will do it later. In this scheme, does the employment will be given to adult in a family? Yes, anyone above 18 can do the job under Manrega scheme. Can inflation be reduced by controlling credit on unprioritized sector? We will do that date later. Let's not go into that much complexity as of now, Ghazala. We'll slowly we'll do it. Don't worry. Any doubts? You can ask. No doubts? Okay. Tomorrow again we'll do economy 4 topics and we'll take the business paper of the Hindu and we'll try to tackle the questions there. Okay. Great. Asif Khan, any doubts? You have been raising hand. Okay, if there are no doubts, then we should close for today. Let's meet tomorrow again at the same time. We will take economic paper of the Hindu and we'll also do more terminologies till we are clear with the subject and then only move towards better topic.